is an investment policy statement, also known as IPS. An IPS is a document that outlines goals and strategies. The goals are specific and relevant to a particular investor, and it gives you information that you need to make decisions. It helps you to stay focused, especially in tough economic times when you can be very tempted to make emotional changes to your strategy. Portfolio managers often use them for their wealthy clients, and if it's good enough for the rich, it's certainly good enough for me. I think it is a key part of financial planning. If wealth is your destination, I think the investment policy statement is your GPS. Without it, you'll arrive eventually, but you're more likely to get lost. Everyone's IPS is going to be different. As I said, it contains investor-specific personal information, goals, and dreams. But there's a generally accepted list of items that are always included. And here is my full investment policy statement as of January 2022.
Hi, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching. Here's a little bit about me. My household consists of myself, my husband, and my toddler. My mom also lives with us, but she's not included in our finances. We live in a high cost of living city in the Northeast. My husband and I both went to graduate school, but fortunately, we no longer have student loan debt. I work in banking and he works in aviation. I take care of the family's finances, and I love my role as the self-appointed CFO. I love to talk about all things money, whether it's investing, saving, or making money. I look forward to sharing a wealth building journey with you. I look forward to getting to know you, and I hope you enjoyed this video.
I'm going to break down each category. You can see that the first one is the investment philosophy. It says that I will accept market returns, and I will achieve that by buying and holding long-term, low-fee, broad market index funds. Beating the market is nice, but that's not really realistic. 95% of personal finance professionals cannot beat the market. So I would say don't let yourself be swayed by survivorship bias. Over the long term, beating the market is simply not sustainable for the average person. As far as focusing on low fee funds, that's because I want to keep more of my money. Number 2 lists my investment goals. First, I would like to become financially independent by the age of 45. I want to stay out of debt, and I would like to save $100,000 for my son's college education. That $100,000, that's in today's dollars. We don't know what inflation is going to be, and I will not speculate. I would like to save for all future car purchases in cash. In other words, this is nothing but a really big sinking fund. And finally, I would like to have a fully funded emergency fund of at least 6 months worth of expenses. Although the minimum here says 6 months, I would be happy with 9 months worth of expenses, and 12 months would be even better. Next, you have asset allocation. I have 5 major types of accounts that have different asset allocations based on my objectives. Combined across all retirement and non-retirement funds, I am 100% stock, given that I have a pretty strong risk appetite. To break that down further, I am 85-15 on US versus international, and my goal is to rebalance after swings of 5% or more. As far as US versus international, the United States stock market has performed better. However, we don't know what the future holds, and I would like to hedge my bets. So I'm putting some money in international so I can have international exposure and not worrying about being invested in a single country. The 5% is just an arbitrary number. It's a number that I selected with the goal of making sure that I'm not obsessing and not constantly looking to maintain that exact 85-15%. If it goes to 80-20 or if it goes to 90-10, I'm still willing to accept that, and only then will I change it. That keeps me from obsessing constantly with every little market swing, where if it goes to 84-15, I feel the pressure to go and rebalance. I think 5% is a big enough margin that I don't have to do it all the time. The college fund has various types of securities in it because it is a target date fund that corresponds with his age. Right now, I believe the options that we had available to us was iShares. Given the fact that the sinking funds and the emergency funds are funds that I may need access to on short notice, I did not want to fully expose them to equity risk, which means I put them in bonds. As far as ongoing liquidity, I have about a half a month's worth of expenses on hand, and that is supplemented by regular household cash flow. Next, we have asset location. It is exactly what you think it is. Asset location is where your money is actually located. We have 2 401ks, one for my spouse and one for myself. We have 2 IRAs. We have a 529. We have a brokerage account, and we have I-bonds as well as cash and cash equivalent. For my 401k, I don't get an employer match, but my spouse does. As far as the IRAs, My IRA follows this plan that you see right in front of you. However, when it comes to my spouse's IRA, we jokingly say that that is the casino. He has a lot of high growth stocks in there. Some of them haven't worked out so well, but some of them really have been a gold mine. Stocks like Nvidia that he bought for less than $15 a share, Amazon that he paid less than $1,000 a share for. You just never know what you might find, but it is doing extremely well, and for now we're just going to keep an eye on it. I have determined my risk tolerance to be aggressive. We have other sources of income, some of which are guaranteed, and that has made us more comfortable with risk. Our tax strategy is not going to be that much different from anybody else's. Our goal is to minimize taxes to the best of our ability. That means we are maxing both of our 401k accounts, we are maxing both of our IRAs, and when we contribute to the 529 plan, we make sure that the minimum contribution is at least the maximum amount that is deductible on our state taxes for married filing jointly. At the time that I'm recording this video, the amount for 2022 is $2,000. That means that as long as we can afford it, there's never going to be a year where we put less than $2,000 in that account. We do not have HSAs. I know they're relatively popular, but as a result of me wanting to keep a tight rein on our healthcare costs due to all the medical screenings that I have and all the medical issues that I need to keep an eye on, I'm not comfortable having a very high deductible plan. We don't have HSAs, but we do still make an effort to minimize our taxes by maxing out our FSA. The FSA is nothing like the HSA. The only thing that they have in common is that they are both used for healthcare, but there are also a lot of differences. I do understand the advantages of the HSA, but for us, it does not currently suit our purposes. Next, we have the policy statement, and my policy statement is to stay the course given the long-term horizon. We are in our 30s. We have a long time ahead of us before we reach retirement age. Although my goal is to become financially independent, if I miss the mark, it is not the end of the world. I am still young enough to keep working. And if we get to the point where at my age, the market is not going to recover in time for me to retire at 65, well, guess what? I think money is going to be the least of my worries. In other words, I either expect it to go back up or I need to stockpile guns. And finally, the last part is evaluation. My goal is to review my net worth progress quarterly and then review the asset allocation annually and then rebalance if it is needed. There you have it, my investment policy statement as of 2022. I'm looking forward to tracking the journey and posting regular updates on our status on the page. So if you are interested and you're curious to know how we're doing, be sure to subscribe. Tell me about your investment policy statement. Do you have one? Do you think it's necessary? Maybe you have a plan that is written and that is very well organized. You just didn't know what to call it. Leave me a note in the comment section below and let me know. I would like to continue sharing my thoughts on all things money with you. So I would appreciate it if you could help out the channel by liking this video and sharing it with anyone you think might benefit from it. If you want to see more content, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know when new videos come out. I'll see you in the next one.